Is it bad to skip lunch? That's the question I'm going to answer in today's video. Hey, I'm Alex Hall, the DNA Fat Loss Coach. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, do be sure to like the video, comment your thoughts below and what future videos you want to see, and of course hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any future content. So is it bad to skip lunch? The reason I'm covering this topic is because I hear a lot of people say, in a very negative sense, oh, I skipped lunch today, I just did not have time to eat. I was so busy, I just skipped lunch, totally forgot about it. And they'll tell me, I know it's terrible, or they'll be telling someone else, it's terrible, I'm so bad, I shouldn't have skipped lunch. But is it actually bad to skip lunch? The answer, as always, when it comes to nutrition, health, well-being, is it depends, okay? It depends on a number of factors, which we're going to cover shortly. There are a number of scenarios and ways that this can play out, okay? Let's go with example number one. You skip lunch because you have to prepare for a meeting or something, you know, things are just too busy. And then you have a couple of minutes spare here and there. And what you do is you go and grab some snacks. You're at the vending machine, you're at the kitchen cupboards, right? Something quick and easy to hand. What are those likely to be? Probably some crisps, maybe some chocolate, maybe a quick ham sandwich, right? Just carbs and piece of ham. Maybe it's, you know, some dip or something. It's probably a highly processed, highly palatable, not very satiating, not very satisfying, relatively unhealthy, low nutrient quality snack. Okay? So in this case, skipping lunch has caused you to do this because if you were to have a satisfying meal, you wouldn't then be constantly snacking throughout the rest of the day or the afternoon. Okay, same applies with breakfast, right? If you skip breakfast but end up just grazing or snacking on unhealthy foods, then I recommend you have breakfast. If you skip lunch and end up just snacking on these unhealthy foods, then in your particular case, it is worth you having a satisfying healthy lunch where possible, okay? So in that case, skipping lunch, yes, that's going to be bad. So my recommendation there is to prepare something or go out and buy something super simple, okay? Really strip it back to basics, okay? So a couple of boxes to tick. You want a lean protein source or protein source of some kind, okay? Chicken, tuna, whatever it is. You could have some beans, some legumes. So I'm going to go with a home cooking example. Tin of tuna, right? Takes 30 seconds to open, 10 seconds to open and have ready, prepared. You can have a tin of beans, 10 seconds to open and rinse and drain, right? You can literally chuck those two in a bowl, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and you're away. You've got a meal that's high in protein, very satisfying, high in fibre, a little bit of healthy fat, and you're away. You've got one of your fibre in there as well from the beans. You could upgrade that with some more natural colour. So I'm thinking veggies or fruits here, whether you end that with an apple, for example, or you throw in a handful of spinach. You could have pre-washed spinach. You could have a bag of pre-done salad, right? You literally open, throw a handful in there, stir it in with your tuna and your beans, maybe a little bit of dressing, a little bit of cider vinegar. Something super simple. It takes 2 minutes to prepare. Off you go. You're back to your desk and eating away. But you know you've got your protein, you've got your healthy fats, you've got some fibre, and you've got some colour. Okay? Super simple, not to worry about. Now, if you're out and about, picking up a chicken salad, picking up just something that's got a little bit of protein in it, maybe some boiled eggs. You know, you can get like boiled eggs and spinach, little snack boxes and stuff. Perfect. Something that just keeps you satisfied until you can have a kind of proper, healthy, substantial, perhaps more substantial meal. Now let's get to another situation, okay? This might be one that I put myself in sometimes. I skip breakfast, I fast, right? I'm fasting or time restricted feeding, whatever you want to call it. And then I suddenly get too busy to have lunch. You know, maybe another call comes up or some task needs doing immediately. And I don't have time to go and make lunch. Okay, so normally I'd fast until around lunchtime. Is it bad for me to skip lunch in that situation? Not at all. Okay, let's say I do skip lunch, and I skip lunch all the way up until dinner, right? I'm busy all the way up until dinner, even if it's a really early dinner, like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Okay, normally lunch would say be at 2, half 2. All I'm doing there is I'm extending my fast. Okay, let's say I finish eating at 8 p.m. the previous evening, and I go from 8 until, let's say, 6 o'clock. That's a 22-hour fast. That is incredible, and the health benefits of which I'll go into shortly. This is a strategy that's actually commonly used by leading longevity experts. Okay, the name that springs to mind is David Sinclair, Dr. David Sinclair. He's super busy. He purposefully skips breakfast, but often there'll be days when he just doesn't have lunch, and then he'll go and have an evening meal at a restaurant or home cooked, whatever. But he's now extended his fast, and he's doing what we call OMAD, 1 meal a day. And OMAD, you may have heard of the OMAD diet. OMAD doesn't have to be done every single day, right? I use it 1 to 3 times per week when it's kind of convenient for me. Right? If I have a busier day, I know I'm going to skip breakfast anyway, because that's what I do. I could free up an extra hour and a half, hour. I like to have quite long lunches, I'm not going to lie. I could free up an extra hour and a half by not having lunch. Okay, that allows me to get more done, and then maybe I just pull my dinner time, my evening meal, earlier by a couple of hours, for example, or an hour, and then have a really big dinner. Give me time for that to settle before bedtime. Okay, so that is a really effective way of actually getting tons of health benefits whilst doing this thing that has kind of been demonized actually by mainstream media and in a lot of conversations with people. Oh no, I can't believe I skipped lunch today. We could flip that switch, flip that conversation, flip the whole tone of it and be like, I skipped lunch today. I also skipped breakfast. This is amazing. I feel great. I'm running on fat because that tends to be what happens. And I've had a really long fast, which has the health benefits I'm going to share with you now. Just a side note, if you do get 5-10 minutes and you're finding yourself getting hungry at say 3 or 4 o'clock, but you want to keep on going until dinner, I recommend moving your body a little, okay? Go for a little walk, walk on down the stairs, do a set of push-ups, whatever, just something that gets your body moving. Tends to distract us or move us away from hunger, okay? Hunger is a very cyclic, habitual thing, okay? So if we normally have lunch, our hunger drive, our hunger hormones kind of spike around that time. We'll find ourselves getting hungry, but if we just stay distracted, stay busy, move our body a little, it's kind of a good lunchtime tip. If you don't manage to have lunch, but you manage to get 10-15 minutes, you could go for a little walk. Or if you wanted to skip lunch actively, and you found yourself with a spare half an hour, you could use that time to go for a walk, thus reducing your hunger, thus extending your fast, and getting all the benefits of the walk in addition to the longer fast. Okay, so benefit number 1 of fasting, especially fasting until dinner time: improved insulin sensitivity. Okay, insulin sensitivity, or on the flip side, insulin resistance, is the driver of diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Okay, if you consistently eat lots of high sugar stuff, you become insulin resistant, and then you basically find yourself pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic. So when we fast, we improve our insulin sensitivity, which basically means when sugar goes into the bloodstream, we suck it up very quickly. We massively reduce our risk of type 2 diabetes, and we just overall have better energy and better health. Benefit number 2, we have improved fat burning, right? When you're not putting in fuel, I'm going to say more specifically carbohydrates, into your body has nothing to do but burn its stored energy. Okay, now we do store carbohydrates in varying amounts into the liver, in the muscles and so on. However, after some amount of time, and depending on our diet up to that point, our body's going to have to tap in to its fat stores. Okay, let's say the belly fat. It's going to have to tap in to those stores of belly fat. Benefit number 3, boosted sirtuin activation. Okay, now sirtuins, explained in another video, are your longevity genes, or a kind of branch of your longevity genes. Now, when we fast, we trigger adversity. Our body thinks we're under starvation or some level of adversity. So what does it do? There's very, very advanced survival mechanisms that basically trigger the cleanup, the doubling down, recycling, and boosting, the effect of which is boosting your longevity. Okay, so our body goes into full-on hunkering down mode, survival instinct, and we actually boost our longevity by getting a little bit hungry. How amazing is that? We reduce our inflammation. Benefit number 4 is reduced inflammation. So inflammation, for those of you unaware, basically think of all those little niggles and pains that you have. Your knee pain, you may have some kind of arthritis, you may have some back pain. All of this is driven by inflammation. In fact, almost any pain within the body to some degree is driven by inflammation. So inflammation is something we generally want to reduce as much as possible. Fasting helps us to reduce that. We have a reduced risk of heart disease. Number 5, reduced risk of heart disease. What is not to love? Benefit number 6, now this is an amazing one, okay? It's twofold. Number 1, we have boosted cognitive function, okay? When we're fasted and we're not thinking about food and we kind of get into this flow state, right? We're totally clear, have total clarity, and we can really work at a higher level, if you will, okay? I record all these videos fasted and my brain just works. I don't even know how to explain it. I just sit down, I just record a load of videos and it's totally fine, it's totally easy, right? In the morning, my work focus is so much better. I'm not distracted, I'm not thinking about food, I'm clear, okay? And the second part of this is we actually have reduced risk of degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. And number 7, benefit number 7 is fat loss, right? Provided you end up in a calorie deficit, you know, not eating for 18 to 20 hours of the day, to 22 hours a day even, that is really going to restrict your, obviously, eating window, but therefore the amount of energy, the amount of calories you can consume within that period. Okay? So it makes it very, very easy, very effortless to lose a bit of fat, to reduce your overall calorie intake, which has tons of benefits, but primary one being you'll lose some fat. So I want to know, has this video changed your perspective on skipping lunch? Do you skip lunch? You know, are you a snacker or are you a grazer? Are you going to change anything off the back of this? Do let me know in the comments. Be sure to drop it a like and hit that subscribe button. And if you're looking for support for your fat loss journey, or looking to get more personalized guidance on any of this sort of stuff, check out the links in the description. You can contact me there. Head over to my LinkedIn profile. Let's have a conversation. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to speaking with you soon.